G'day everyone. The Gate of Infinity version of the Fall, Shock, Destroy encounter is simple but annoyingly difficult. Take note of this mechanic when you activate the encounter because it pops up again a few times during the fight. You need to basically connect red to blue throughout any of the other statues. The reason you're doing this is to get to the blue statue and take its little blue shield off it because the boss is about to slam down after this mechanic. If you have the blue shield like I do here, you won't take any damage. Take note, to get the shield, you need to actually bump into the statue. You can see the blue shield's on the statue there. If I don't touch it, I won't get the shield even though I've gotten to the other side. So instead, you need to actually bump into it like this, and when you do that, you'll take the shield from it, and then you'll be safe from the slam. Now, apart from that mechanic, the boss only has 2 attacks that he uses, but they're both really annoying and he uses them quite quickly. So when the boss lifts up his left knee like this, he's about to do a stomp and create a lightning circle on the ground around you. He's then going to do a ground slam that will deal damage inside that lightning circle, and if you're still inside, there is nothing you can do to avoid this. You can't jump, you can't dodge or roll or block or anything. Your only option is to jump out of the lightning ring, and you do have to jump. If you walk, it'll stun you. So that's one of his attacks. The only other one is when he lifts his right leg and you get the purple fury indicator. He's about to do a stomp, which you need to use your defensive ability against. This stomp is always followed by 2 walls of lightning, as you see here. You need to find the gap. It'll either be left or right to start, and then the gap in the second wall will always be on the opposite side, so you need to do a bit of a zigzag back and forth. I nearly always used my morph to get around the second wall. I was just never quite quick enough, and I'd often get stunned on that second wall. And then he immediately goes into his lightning ring stomp again, and it's pretty much a cycle. It's quite rhythmic, this fight. You'll do a wall, and then you'll do a stomp, and then a wall, and then a stomp, and it just goes back and forwards. So let's just watch a couple of cycles here so that you can get a bit of a feel and see the rhythm of the fight. Now, because the fight is so consistently the same, you can work out a bit of a pattern for when to use your abilities, and this will depend on the weapons you're using. There's not a lot of downtime in this, so you need to be aware of which one of your weapon skills animation lock you. For example, with the Greatsword, the Death Blow ability locks you in place for a small moment, especially if you want to charge it, so I'd always use it right here after the walls, because he's then about to stomp with his left foot immediately. So that was my gap to do it. I'd then charge back in and use Guillotine Blade, because that was the window for it. Right, and then he's straight back into the same cycle. I'll dodge the wall, I use the defensive ability there because you can move while charging it, and then straight into Death Blow again. That lightning ring is really quick. You need to be moving basically as soon as you see his left knee lifting, or you're going to be too slow and it'll get you. Now, there is a bit of RNG in which side the lightning spawns, so you want to stay central to the boss there like that so that you can pick your side and you're not caught out too far on one side. Again, I use Death Blow after the wall. Alright, so you'll get this intermission a few times throughout the fight. It's the same as the start of the fight to activate the boss. You just want to take the red, and moving between the statues that exist, you're just getting to the blue side. Once you're at the blue, make sure you actually bump into and touch it to get the shield. Making sure to obviously dodge those lightning balls that come through during that phase. And that's the entire fight. There's nothing new here now. I will just touch on a few differences if you're playing a ranged class. I did do a bit of testing with my bow off spec just to see if there was anything different. If you stand in close to the boss like this, you'll still get the same lightning circle mechanic, which is fine, you just have to deal with that the same way. But unfortunately, the boss really punishes you if you're not standing in range of him or up close to him. He'll do this massive room-wide damaging AoE that you seemingly can't avoid. So basically, it's forcing you to play in close and having to deal with this circle mechanic. So that's it, everyone. Very simple boss mechanics-wise, but surprisingly hard. Lots of movement and very punishing. If you get hit by those stuns, the second wall will hit you and it's just awful. I found it particularly hard getting through the wall without morphing. I ended up just sacrificing my stamina and using morph to do that. That might partly be because of latency. I play in Australia and we always get shafted with server locations, so I play with about 150 ms, but I think it's just also a hard fight and it's designed that way, obviously, because it's one of the challenge time ones. There's my gear if you're curious. I'm just playing a tank build and I'm wearing mostly blues from leveling still. If this helped, please let me know in the comments or like and subscribe for more of this. Thanks for listening, everyone. Cheers.